Welcome back, people. Welcome to Byte by eCommerce. Here we bring curated stories from the world of AI and e-commerce to guide global businesses in their digital transformation journeys. I am your host Deepak Gawas, and today I am thrilled to welcome Michael Vax again to our podcast. For those who did not, watch our last episode, I'll do a quick introduction of Michael. Michael is a celebrated expert in digital commerce with a remarkable 30-year journey in IT and e-commerce. He's played some key roles at industry giants like Hybris, Spryker by SAP, at Elastic Path. He's also the author of AI-Powered E-commerce, the book which explains the strategic uses of AI in enhancing customer experiences and operations. Being passionate about nurturing e commerce talent, Michael now has started his own venture that is Commerce is Digital, which offers specialized courses at for B2B as well as B2C sectors. These courses range from e commerce training for business leaders to implementing AI in e commerce and also custom training. So definitely you should have a look at them. The website is commerceisdigital.com, and we'll definitely speak about it in the later part of the session. So get ready for some insightful discussions that will redefine how you look at the intersection of technology and e-commerce. And with that, I would like to invite Michael and welcome him to the show again. Thank you, Michael, for joining us today.
Deepak, it's my pleasure to be here, and you always find interesting topics to discuss. So I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Great. So, I mean, since this is part of our podcast series, that is the complete guide to mastering AI powered B2B e commerce. In our last session, we laid the groundwork for B2B e commerce essentials. In this one, we will look at how B2B commerce is a great opportunity to encourage self-service in B2B sales, and we are going to discuss some interesting ways how that can help your businesses. So stay tuned. And also, to kick it off, Michael, let me start with the first question, which is, what are some of the key trends or behavior changes in behavior that you are currently observing when it comes to the B2B e-commerce landscape that is encouraging self-service in B2B e-commerce?
I think that probably one of the biggest trend that I see, and I know that we're going to talk about this in more details later on, is focus on customer convenience, customer productivity, and in implementing e-commerce and e-commerce to degree is equivalent to self-service, or at least some people think about this. I think it's more complex by that, but definitely self-service is a part of e-commerce. But customer convenience and customer experience becoming a really main focus. First of all, it's because that's a way for brands and B2B seller to differentiate themselves. Yeah? Because convenience and how fast people can find what they're looking for and finish purchase is a major factor now. Sometimes it's more important than actually small price differences. Yeah. And the second is, of course, this generational change. More and more younger people are coming into workforce. Right now, is I saw data that's majority of B2B buyers are digital natives. So for them, not having a self-service form, be forced to pick up the phone and try to get to somebody or wait for reply on email, it's just not acceptable. So I think that definitely one of these is focus on customer experience. The other thing I see companies investing into product data, and again, I'm sure it's discussed separate, going deeper, separate discussion during our podcast. And the last one, it's a new trend, but I think it's already impacting um, any e-commerce, and especially B2B, is using AI in different areas from personalization to customer service.
Agreed. And what you highlighted, the change in behavior, is something which is spanning across all technologies. I mean, it's not just e-commerce. Even if it's as a marketing person, even if it's something sending out an email, I would rather own the control where it's complete DIY for me.
Mhm.
Unless I face some serious challenges, I don't wish to talk to anybody. I expect the system to be that easy that I could do it on my own without any support. And
Yes, which is of course difficult in B2B because in many cases people are buying very complex products. Yeah. So the question is how do you provide, and also cost of mistake, I think as we talked last time, is very high. So the question, how do you create this user experience in self-service that people feel comfortable of placing large orders and do it? And they want to do it as fast as possible. And in many cases is doing it on their own.
great. So if we had to, and we'll definitely touch upon why and what are the challenges that would come across, because B2B e-commerce is extremely complex. If somebody has to think about why self-service in B2B sales or B2B e-commerce, what would be the top benefits that being self-service brings to B2B sales?
I think that it's for from customer perspective, and we always need to look from customer perspective, is the fastest way for them to complete their job, because there are really people who are pressed for time. They are super busy. They have desktop full of post-it notes with things they need to do and so on. Yeah. So for them, it's definitely get me information that I need, right? If possible, make me trust your information, and then the fastest way to complete purchasing. Yeah. So the other thing that about self-services is ability to educate customers about product or services that your company produce, and this is very important aspect. Yeah. Because if you only rely on salespeople going to conferences and personally talking to people in order to educate the market, first of all, it's very expensive. Second, number of people you can reach is much not that big. It's really limited by number of salespeople you have, number of hours they can travel, and schedule meeting and so on. Yeah? And I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. It definitely should be done. But having self-service as a way to educate customers is a huge help to your sales efforts. Create much better market awareness, which means that your salespeople have a higher chance of closing the deal, and also can spend more time on leads that are already warm or hot.
Right. So yeah, I mean, while the sales team can focus on the warm and the hot leads, buyers outside of your database or outside of your industry or outside your location for that matter can definitely visit your website and find out more about your products without you spending additional time.
Yes, yes. Also, even kind of it can work in combination, because if you have information on your site, then your salespeople can just send a link in email or WhatsApp, and and then they only answer questions or providing complementary information versus doing the basic work of educating market.
Yeah. So you can do more with the same amount of time using the website or the self-service tools that are there at their disposal.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, that we spoke about the buyers. What about the post sales experience? Do you see there are also any opportunities that self-service tools could be a small part of, or any specific technology that can help a business with the post-sales service?
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's important to keep customer confident in your ability to deliver and your ability to deliver what they want during all stages of the process. And here there's kind of several things. One is a majority of customer support requests or even call to your sales account managers, yes, is where is my order? When it will be delivered, yeah? So to degree, it's waste of customer and your salespeople time to answer this question. And the only reason the customer is calling you, not just because they want to chat, they really worry about where they order. It means that your business haven't done good enough job to update customer on what it is. Yeah, and in B2B, it's quite challenge even from technology perspective, because let's say you place your order on e-commerce site, but after order is placed, is disappear in vast ERP, and which goes to manufacturing process and all of that. Yeah, and many companies are missing or not investing money in implementing backlink from ERP, from manufacturing process to e-commerce portal. Because if
Right.
I place the order online, I'm logging into my account, I want to see the status of the process. Yeah. And if e-commerce system only knows status of the order up to the point that order has been placed, yeah, I don't know if order is accepted. Or do you have everything there? Do you still go planning to deliver it? Are there any questions during manufacturing? Even if sometimes order is modified, but it's not reflected on e-commerce. What it creates anxiety, and it creates customer dissatisfaction. Yeah. What we should see happen if that when order goes through either manufacturing process or of course through fulfillment process, information is sent back, and then my self-service is actually has information to serve me. Otherwise, it's
Right.
not it's source of frustration versus tool that saves me time. So this is a really crucial link, and somehow people see is less important than placing the order. I understand, yeah, order should go there, but send things back. What are your order statuses? How many you have? Yeah. What if order was placed and then you see that it's, you don't have right components, or salesperson wants to modify the order? They do this modification in ERP, and then me as a customer, I'm logging into self-service area, and I don't see this modification. What should I feel? I'm picking up a phone. Yeah. So that is, I think, is a really important part to do right to make your self-service work.
Agreed, agreed. And to add on to that, what you highlighted is absolutely correct. So we had one customer who, I mean, a lot of their sales reps' time was going into just updating the customers about the status of their order. And, I mean, when they came to us with that challenge, we kind of implemented a small chatbot for them. Its role
Mhm.
was very simple: go through the online store, pull out the status of the order, whether it's delivered, whether it's in transit, whether it's shipped, along with the date, and just tell it to the customer. So every time a customer would come, they simply had to put in their order, status of the order, and it would just tell them it is shipped, you will receive by this date. that simple implementation saved close to 25% of their sales reps time.
Wow.
That's huge. I mean, and it wasn't complex, it was a simple chatbot, so they're like, that's all we need to start with. And they are exploring potential other opportunities, but for them, they really liked it, especially those chat folks who were happy because now they can concentrate on building relationship and not just telling their customers about the status, which was like consuming a lot of time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, especially with AI, these chatbots can be not that simple. Yeah. They actually can do a lot of different things, including answering questions about products. They understand customer intent, not just a hard-coded set of keywords and sentences. They can do it, yeah. And now, like in 2024, I highly recommend everybody to think about what kind of chatbots are you implementing to communicate to customers. Yeah, because with ChatGPT type tools, we're all getting used, and you getting used to good things very fast,
Yeah.
to some intelligence in these tools. Yeah. So when the chatbot is gives you silly answers or just don't understand it, you kind of think stupid chatbot. Yeah. And that feeling can be easily, some customer can easily transfer it to your brand. Yeah. Because for them, I'm not talking to some chatbot. I'm on your site. I'm talking to your brand.
Right.
And you don't want your brand to look not mentally capable of supporting customers. Yeah. So now good tools are available. Definitely, it makes no sense to use old style solution when customer expectations are growing very fast, and you need to have something intelligence communicating back to customer.
Agreed. So that also brings me to another point. You just highlighted a challenge in I mean, if you use one of the old bots where it is restricted to a certain set of answering a very specific set of questions, that definitely hampers the customer experience. So, what are some of the challenges that businesses typically face while implementing any means of self-service in B2B e-commerce? And how do they how can they overcome this?
I think we need to look at it from multiple perspectives. Yeah. One real challenge that still exists in many organizations is actually internal inertia and resistance. We are doing business this way. We have done this business for many years, and it's working fine. It's also, if we change it, it may affect my job. So I think this internal resilience, company needs to really put efforts into getting everybody on board, including existing sales team, because there's many benefits for existing sales teams. So they definitely need to do it. Then another big challenge is complexity of products that B2B companies sell, yeah, and complexity of overall sales process with multiple people involved, some workflow, some approvals, and all that, and complexity of products. So if you're just starting with B2B e-commerce, then don't start with your most complex products. Obviously, it's much better to start with something that more kind of commodity, maybe don't sell machinery, sell spare parts, yeah, things like that. And then as you build your tools, you gradually increase assortment and categories of self-service that you're doing. Yeah, if you do have a complex product, then obvious question is, what are tools and techniques I can use to decrease complexity? facing customers. Yeah. So here, more intelligent product recommendations definitely play a big role. Yeah. Knowing your customer plays a big role. Let's say if you know this customer is using your product for some specific use cases, or this customer already owns some equipment that he bought from you, yeah, then you can intelligently limit the scope of the products that you offer to target customer needs and all of that. Yeah, and of course product configurator. So yeah, so really challenges kind of internal inertia and pushing back from people who don't want to just do different things, and complexity. But we have tools to deal and techniques and approaches to deal with all these challenges, and many companies successfully do.
So definitely internal culture and the way they perceive these things, that would be one. Product complexity, 100% agree with you on that. Maybe also at some point the challenges of getting the right partner would also matter in this case, because the complexity, if you don't get the right partner, even if you implement something, it may not have the desired impact.
Of course. There's a lot of complexity in digital commerce, as we all know. So there's really a question of building knowledge in organization. Yeah, and this is why I'm creating these training courses for companies to effectively deploy B2B commerce in their organization, as well as knowing best practices and approaches on implementing it. So that definitely knowledge. But when you talk about knowledge and experience, yeah, there's multiple ways to get it. Yeah, so you need to invest, of course, in internal training, but you also need to get experts and get the right partners to do it. Yeah, and it only works with in combination. So it's not either or. You really need to do both. Yeah, and in many cases, I would say in majority of cases, success of implementation depends less on tools you selected and more on the processes and expertise that you use when implementing your e-commerce initiative. Yeah. So it's quite often that you get right tools, but you're not using it the right way, or you haven't
Right.
integrated in the right way. Yeah, and this is where expertise plays a huge role in success or failure of initiative.
Brilliantly put, Michael. So people, a great example of why learning and training can help you in getting the right infrastructure, solving the right business challenges, and how to do them, because the landscape is changing so fast with all the new tools and really good tools that are out there. So you need to know what to implement, how to use them. So learning and training is going to be more important than ever, thanks to all the change in the landscape.
Yes, absolutely. And it's from my experience working with different B2B companies, I see there are two things. There are some things that actually don't change much, but needs to be understood. For example, your product catalog. Yeah, like your product catalog contains data. Each product has a name, description, attributes, images, extra media, and categories. Yeah, that doesn't change. Doesn't change actually. It's what industry you are, and there are some best practices how to apply them, and they are as valid now as they were 10 years ago. Yeah, the same can go with prices, the same can do. Yeah. At the same time, there's a lot of things that are changing. Yeah, there's different, more efficient tools. Like nobody was using AI to actually help you to maintain your product data in the right way, or improve descriptions and all of that. So now we have these tools. Yeah. Um, the same, a lot of innovation happen in search, because one of the things that B2B companies are challenges that people are businesses are facing is many businesses, B2B businesses, have thousands of products. So
Right.
how people can find what they need? Yeah, so product discoverability and a lot of innovation in search technology now with AI and personalization and all of that. Yeah, so I think it's a combination of understanding the core concepts and best practices in e-commerce, which every organization needs to know and applicable to 90% of the businesses. And then on top of it, what are the best tools and more modern techniques to use and implement it? But I like this approach because it creates a base of e-commerce knowledge. Yeah, because you can start chasing some latest AI bot or marketplace, selling on marketplace, and all of that. If you don't understand the basic of e-commerce domain, main concepts, main best practices, well, it won't be successful. Yeah. So this really creates foundation for any e-commerce knowledge. And then on top of it, of course, you're working with knowledgeable partners who knows the best tools for your industry and so on.
Yeah. You you kind of answered my next question, which was about how crucial is technology in enabling effective self-service capabilities in B2B e-commerce. So with that as the context, are there specific technologies that you recommend for businesses looking to enable their self-service, you may say, functionality or self-service approach? Like, for example, complex B2B e-commerce platforms could be one of them, where it it allows you to configure the way your business rules are: customer specific pricing, customer specific discounts, request for quotes. What are some of the other specific technologies that you think can help businesses here?
I think, first of all, definitely, if you decide to implement B2B commerce, especially in complex environment, select the right e-commerce platform. Select B2B e-commerce platform versus just generic e-commerce, because there's just too many things that B2B specific, and you won't be able to implement successful implementation if you just using generic B2C platform. Yeah? I think product discovery we already talked about, and there's a lot of kind of good tools that helps people to do it. Product configurator, some of these tools used to be very expensive, kind of CPQ tools, configure price quote. Now there's more modern and easier to use tools. And sometimes you can even use this kind of guide customer for selection, even if it's not really configurable product. If customer needs to select particular configuration, particular set of products, I call it configurable bundles, yeah, then investing into implementing kind of guiding customer by hand to do it is super important. And then at some point, customer may still be stuck in self service area and needs actually help. And ability for salespeople to offer this help through chat or the call and have the context of what customers are doing, be able to see their shopping cart, be able to add something or suggest something to the shopping cart, or even create shopping cart on behalf of the customer. So really this collaboration, customer salesperson collaboration, then it allows, even for most complex scenarios, people can get some help during the process at some point, but then they can still go and complete order and place order themselves and complete purchase themselves and so on. Yeah. So I look this as a kind of symbiosis of the best approaches. Yes, let customers to do as much self-service as possible. At the same time, be there to offer a hand when this hand is needed, but not in a way, okay, I'll schedule appointment with you next week sometime. Yeah. Customer has a question. I put this in cart. Is it going to work with my equipment? Or these two pieces in my cart, two products, are they compatible? Yeah. So that information definitely can be really, if you provide it in timely manner, that makes this self-service process smooth, good experience, and very productive. And one more thing I wanted to say is that in B2B, it's quite often that people repeat the order.
Right.
Yeah. So the question is, how do you make this reorder as easy as possible? Yeah. And here we have very specific B2B challenges, and I think I have even special blog post on this topic, or maybe a couple. One, if we compare to B2C, B2B customers usually have large number of orders. Yeah. B2B customer also order can be big.
Yep.
So for customer just to reorder something, they first need to find it. So it's very important to implement search in the orders, which is not common functionality. Don't see it everywhere. Search and filter. I know I placed this order beginning of last year, and I know that I have these products in it. So be able to search and do it and filter it and then find this order. And then easy way to add this order to shopping cart is the entire order or just selected products and so on. The other thing that when you're doing reorder that you need to take care of is that time passed and some products may have been discontinued
Right.
or replaced by new versions, or you don't sell them anymore, but do it. So the question is, at that point, can you offer some alternative? Can
Right.
you do it in an intelligent way that instead of forcing customer to start search again and looking for alternative, can your system suggest it? And can you actually make it clear to customers that this is not exactly what you ordered, and this is alternative? So here is where kind of great user experience will really shine. And for self-service, I think it's one of the areas that everybody should focus on, how to make it easy to reorder.
Right. Like you said, a lot of businesses ignore the importance of having that customer portal where each customer can have a look at their complete orders, the order history, download invoices, so they don't have to do back and forth or search in their emails for maybe 6 month old invoices at some point because they have ordered certain products, like you said. Maybe a small button it says reorder this again. That may just, simplify a lot of things for them.
Reorder entire order or reorder some products from your order. Absolutely. That is a place to start and make sure that is working.
Yeah.
And one more thing. You're saying customer wants to see his orders. In B2B, it's a bit different. Customers want to see all orders placed by his organization or by her business unit. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Okay, when I'm looking for orders, maybe somebody else placed this order a year ago, but it doesn't matter. It was placed for my business. I should be able to find it.
Right. Agreed. So it's the account rather than that particular, the company as the account that is important rather than just that particular
Yes.
individual.
And for large companies, it may be a business unit or part of organization in the company. Yeah? So that's why I'm saying you need to have B2B e-commerce system. B2C
Agreed.
won't cut here.
Yeah. So yeah, agreed. I mean, the complexities need a very comprehensive B2B e-commerce portal to get the job done. And yes, you can always improve this further by getting the right AI powered search, or maybe having chatbot automate a few things, so it becomes complete DIY. So also, when you said, there's a lot of businesses and customers are very protective about the data, because they have different pricing arrangements with different customers,
Mhm.
different discounts for different customers. So when you have a phone call, it's easier to just, that there are only two people discussing this. But when you put it out on a system, that's a common concern that we hear, that we don't want to display our rates to all of them, because all my customers have different rates, there are different type of discounts we are offering them. So how do you address some of these concerns to ensure that the data stays confidential? What are some common measures that businesses take to safeguard sensitive information?
Absolutely. And when we talk about sensitive information, we need to kind of look at personal data of customers, yeah. And the second thing that you mentioned is custom agreement, contract, specified prices or shipping methods, and so on, yeah. So again, the answer is use proper B2B e-commerce system, because such system have this built-in security, especially when it comes to prices. It's one of the challenge of B2B e-commerce, that there's millions of price points,
Right.
but they show right prices to right customer. Yeah, that's different ways to implement it, but that is absolutely mandatory in B2B to make sure that only right information is shown. Yeah. So and there's also, of course, there's different type of privacy rules in different countries. And in Europe, it's very different than in US. And so definitely there's something that companies need to take very seriously and do proper testing, yeah. As well as just implement, if you're hosting your e-commerce, you really need to go into this discussion with your provider to understand what information is there, how it's used, and how to protect it, and implement the best authentication techniques to make sure this happening as well. And also do training of your personnel, because in human is quite often the weakest link in any security arrangements. Yeah, definitely is something that should not be taken lightly. Yeah, use proper systems that separate data between customers, and so this leak of the wrong price points and all doesn't happen. Yeah, and then just normal IT security should be applied, best techniques, audits, training, and yeah, and do it all the time. It's not something that you can relax.
Yeah. So, I mean, because you highlighted that learning, training, internal understanding needs to be improved, I'm going to ask the other side of the question. I mean, the hero of all those tools or platforms is the customer. So adoption becomes key, no matter what technology, what platform
Mhm.
one implements. Even training and driving this adoption with our customers, your B2B customers, also becomes important. they need to learn, they need to find that this is of great use. So how can businesses encourage their B2B customers to adopt these self-service tools?
Again, there's technology tools and there's organizational tools. Let's start with organizational. Yeah. Many companies fail to adopt this service tool because they provide zero incentive to the salespeople to promote it. Because these account
Right.
managers, they have relation with customer. Yeah. So if company implemented B2B portal, but salesperson saying customers, no, if you need to place order, just call me, having in mind that, okay, in this case, I'm getting commission, otherwise I won't, yeah, nothing is going to happen. Yeah, like
Right.
nobody is going to go to your portal. So that's important. Some companies who really want to do it, they not only saying whatever is your customer, your account placed order online, you're getting full commission. Some companies saying in first half year, you're actually going to get double commission for orders placed online. Yeah. So there should be motivation of these account managers who have relation with customer, who have customer trust, to show customers how to use it and what's the benefits, and also create this feeling that we just discussed before, that they are still there to support them during this process, just using different tools. Yeah, so that's important. And the second thing is we also talk about usability. If I cannot find what I want quickly on my own, I'm picking up phone. I don't like it, but I need to pick up the phone. Yeah? So product discoverability, and I have a special section in my training of how to make easy for people to discover your products. Yeah, and it's from great product data to product comparison to different product relations between them. A lot of techniques to do it, but it's super important because if I cannot find it, yeah, okay, where I go, I'm calling somebody, yeah, or I'm not going to this portal anymore, yeah. And then there's also a question of just how easy it is, how to you feel reliable, system feels reliable, you feel supported, you feel a safe environment, yeah. So yes, investment in usability and internal gathering internal support for this initiative. These are two things
Yeah.
to
So
get.
I think that's brilliantly put, Michael. The buy-in from your sales team is one of the key factors here. If they don't see this as a threat, but as something which can help them do their jobs better, I think half of the battle is won there.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. So moving ahead on that part, let's say if a business implements one of the technologies, could be a B2B e-commerce store, or maybe a chatbot, or maybe uh, an intelligent search. What are some of the key indicators or metrics that a business should look at to gauge whether their initiatives are being adopted or are being successful, or is there a positive response to it?
There's kind of some standard metrics of kind of measuring online revenue growth and so on. Because I don't recommend to put your entire assortment of products, especially if you're starting online. I think you probably need to do it per category, per product category, because you're going to introduce different categories at the beginning versus as you further advance in the initiative to the market. And then it's you gave this example of this chatbot that's saying how many questions were answered automatically versus doing. Yeah. So I would measure really engagement of sales and support team, but engagement of what type of engagement it is. So I would like to see in this case more time spent on more complex questions versus more complex problem, more kind of getting new business problem versus mundane task of where is my order, or is this product in stock or not. Yeah. So I think this is really requires a bit more data collection, going deeper than just looking at revenue, because then you can see impact of this e-commerce initiatives that business is taking on other parts of the business, not
Got it.
only on a kind of on a top line, but also on the bottom line and overall customer experience, customer engagement.
Great. I think you rightly put. I mean, directly looking for an impact on maybe the top line or bottom line would be maybe 5 steps away. Maybe the first one could be, are the customers actually using it? Are they visiting your website? Are they using some of the features? Are they browsing through your product catalog? Are they using your chatbots to ask questions? Are they clicking on the recommendations given by your search? Even those increasing numbers would denote that yes, there is some adoption, they are finding it useful, and then maybe you can jump on to the later metrics.
Yes.
So one final question before we end this one is, what advice would you give to businesses who are looking to embrace self-service in their B2B sales process or maybe their customer support process? How would you suggest them they start with this?
Again, depending on where they are in their journey, yeah, I would start actually from product data, because if you don't
Okay,
have product data, if they're dirty, not consistent, and only very experienced salespeople can find their way around it for information, well, you're not ready to go online at all. Yeah. So investing into good product data, cleaning it up, simplifying it, providing some guidance, benefits, different way of discover this information. That would be really the first thing to do. Yeah. Then at least on self-service, you solve the problem of giving customer information. So
right,
now here. Only then you can start looking at transactional part and implementing e-commerce system, and then again just look for simple categories that is more kind of repetitive changes and all that, yeah, before moving to more complex or more expensive items. So that will be my kind of my next step, to implement transaction for simple, more repetitive products, using all these best practices that we discussed with you already about repeating order and kind of all that, yeah. Also for some businesses, and I think we talked it on our first podcast a lot, is look at how easy it's for to onboard new customers, how easy it is to do business with you, to start doing business with you. Yeah, I am not going to go through all details because I think we covered it quite well in our first episode, and I'm sure you're going to provide
right.
link to it in this one. So this is really kind of these basic steps. And then, of course, you need to start looking at more advanced search, personalization, AI, configurable products, and so on.
Great. And I mean, so I would like to close it with asking you, how does your training courses would help businesses in bridging this knowledge gap on where they are right now, what they need to do, and if they are doing some of the things, how do they optimize it further? What are some areas where your courses would help them?
I think I have two types of courses. One are kind of for business people, from executive level, directors, managers, who really need to understand how e-commerce work, what's the best practices, what's kind of building component of it, and what metrics to follow, as well as how to implement, like the things that we just discussed. Yeah? And the second type of courses is on implementation teams. Implementation and operations. Really, people who are in trenches are implementing e-commerce projects. Need to understand how to implement pricing, how to implement catalog, how to implement merchandising, fulfillment, and all of that, as well as how to operate this business. Uh, all of these courses do not require technical knowledge. You don't need to be software developer to do it. It's all about e-commerce domain in complex B2B environment. Yeah. So I think that people who were going through the courses, they have really this much broader and deeper understanding of digital commerce, all aspects of it. Yeah, not just say marketing or order management, really all aspects. And I believe when people have this broad picture, when people have this understanding of e-commerce concepts, domain, how to use it in B2B, why it's different than B2C, they making better decisions and also become kind of more productive in their field.
So, people, that was all for this episode. And if you need to reach out to Michael, we'll definitely put his website and his LinkedIn profile on this video. So he is available on LinkedIn, he's active there. And you can also reach out to him on his website, which is Commerce is Digital. The link is part of our video description. And definitely, if you reach out to him, we can always connect you to him. So, thank you, Michael. I mean, another
Thank you,
great
Deepak.
session where we could share some really great insights on how businesses can encourage self-service to bring in efficiency and into their operations and marketing and sales. So thank you again,
Thank you,
Michael.
Deepak. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Great.